The two men involved in the Bondi Beach shooting have been identified as a father and son pair. The gunmen have been named by local media. According to Australian public broadcaster ABC, the alleged assailants were 24-year-old Naveed Akram and 50-year-old his father Sajid Akram, both from the Sydney suburb of Bondi. ABC further reported that the investigators from the country's joint counter-terrorism team, a unit comprised of state and federal agencies, believed the gunmen had pledged allegiance to the Islamic State terrorist group. They have been named as the offenders, and these are the details we have as per reports so far. In fact, Naveed Akram, the son, was examined by Australia's domestic intelligence agency just 6 years ago for close ties to Islamic State. The father-son duo had reportedly told their family they were going on a South Coast fishing trip. Now, during a press briefing, police said they were confident that the two individuals were the only people involved in Sunday's incident and that they were not searching for a third suspect. They described the incident, which resulted in the deaths of 16 people, including a child, as an anti-Semitic terrorist attack carried out at a Jewish festival.
I can say that we are not looking for a further offender. We are satisfied that there were two offenders involved in yesterday's incident. One is deceased, the second is in critical but stable condition in hospital at the moment. The offenders are a 50-year-old and 24-year-old male who are father and son.
Officers raided two properties in Sydney, reportedly the homes of the two men, the offenders. One dead and one critical in the hospital. Visuals show police still present at the properties.
We saw lots of police cars raided this street, and especially in that house. Yeah, so we couldn't sleep. We were watching everything. Yeah, it was so scary.
Australia's Jewish diaspora is small but deeply embedded in the wider community, with about 150,000 people who identify as Jewish in the country of 27 million. About one-third of them are estimated to live in Sydney's eastern suburbs, including Bondi. Around 1,000 people had attended the Hanukkah event last evening. A new eyewitness video has emerged, and the footage shows people celebrating on the beach just moments before the chaos erupted, and they fled as gunmen opened fire. Witnesses said the shooting at the famed beach, the iconic Bondi Beach, which was packed on a hot evening, lasted about 10 minutes, sending hundreds of people scattering along the sand and into nearby streets and parks. Community co-chief said that they wanted to kill as many Jews as possible.
People came to kill Jewish children and women and the elderly, and they knew that here they would have, in a relatively small area, hundreds and hundreds of people, like fish in a barrel. And that's what they wanted. They wanted to kill as many Jewish people as possible simply because they were Jewish, for the crime of being Jewish.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese called the attack an act of pure evil as he laid flowers at the entrance of Bondi Pavilion on the beach. He said his country is mourning the dead by flying flags at half-mast on Monday.
What we saw yesterday was an act of pure evil, an act of anti-Semitism, an act of terrorism on our shores in an iconic Australian location, Bondi Beach, that is associated with joy, associated with families gathering, associated with celebrations, and it is forever tarnished by what has occurred last evening.
And for more on this, I'm now being joined by Brian Seymour, live from Sydney. He's on ground and he's a reporter with the Australian television in Bondi Beach, Sydney. Brian, I'd like to understand from you as you're there, if you can give us a sense of where you're located. I see the bridge right behind you. If you can tell us where you are standing and what's the scene like right now.
Yes, this is one of the bridges, an overpass, pedestrian overpass at Bondi Beach. The one at the north end is cordoned off by police. That's where the two gunmen opened fire last night at 6:47 p.m. The scene here is thousands of people are behind the police cordon here, going down to a flower memorial, laying wreaths and laying bunches of flowers to remember the 15 innocent civilians killed last night in the space of about 10 minutes. And the outpouring of grief in Australia really can't be overstated. We woke up this morning in shock and disbelief. Worst terror attack in Australian history, the worst mass shooting in 30 years.
Brian, these kind of incidents, tragedies of this kind, shootings of these kind, they're not commonplace in Australia, at least not in the last number of decades. The gunman, or the man who has died now, he had 6 firearms licensed to his name. What has caused this kind of radicalization, which has led somebody to carry out a dastardly act of this nature? Because this clearly means 6 firearms could not have been accumulated in a matter of a couple of years. This person has been in Australia. What more do we know?
Yes, apparently this person came to Australia in the late 1990s and he had a license for recreational hunting. He had 6 guns, including those 2 very powerful long barrel guns, a shotgun and a rifle, which we used in the attack. We believe that Sajid Akram and his son Nawed were radicalised by Islamic State. The intelligence officials here, ASIO, first came to learn of Nawed 6 years ago in 2019 due to his association with another person who was being investigated in relation to a foiled terror attack. It's been reported they have both pledged allegiance to Islamic State, and I've seen reports that Islamic State flags were discovered in their car. We're still waiting on police to confirm all of the details as this investigation is unfolding, even as we speak. Right now, the federal government is meeting in Canberra in a crisis cabinet meeting to work out what to do next.
Understood. And Operation Arcs is very much on, so we will wait for the officials to come out with the final verdicts after their investigation is done. But Brian, I was observing people around you, and I can see even younger kids roaming around right behind. Has the beach been opened to public and even kids? Once again, if you can perhaps show us around or tell us what the scene is like as of now.
Yes, I can. I'll just show you around here, and you can see the beach in the background there. And it has been reopened. It reopened again this morning. Thousands of people have come here to pay their respects. And just past the police cordon here, you can see a couple of police here. Is the memorial unfolding. Politicians, the local community members, Jewish community leaders, all there to pay their respects. This will be a scene of memorialisation for many weeks to come. You know, the last mass shooting in Australia was in 1996, the Port Arthur massacre, in which a lone, insane gunman killed 35 people. This was a targeted attack against Jewish people at a Hanukkah festival, the Festival of Light, all gathered here at Bondi Beach on a sunny early evening, and it was just horrific beyond measure. Something we thought we'd never see here in Australia, and sadly we've joined the growing list of nations where this kind of attack is all too common.
Well, to see the beach reopened in less than 24 hours is clearly a statement that things will move on and nobody's going to sit away or sit at home. Everyone's here to pay their respects. Our condolences once again, Brian, for the loss that any Australian would have faced as of now, or anyone else from around the world. It was a tragic incident that shocked everyone around the world. That was Brian Seymour getting us the latest visuals from Bondi Beach in Sydney. Thanks so much, Brian.